guys, Tiffany here of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and on today's cosplay tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I made the Bunny Mafia head from the anime Rust Eater Bisco out of EVA foam. And remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more cosplay tutorials. For making the bunny head, you're going to need 2, 4, and 10mm EVA foam, Sharpies, X-Acto knife and box cutter, cutting mat, a Dremel and sanding drum, sandpaper, a heat gun, contact cement glue, and of course your safety gear, and I'll have links to all of this in the description. And if you'd like to use my pattern that I made to do the bunny head, it is available on my website, www.tiffanygordoncosplay.com, or see the link below. To first start off, you're going to want to trace all of the top and bottom pieces onto 4mm EVA foam with a Sharpie, and then cut out with an X-Acto knife. Make sure also to write down all of the correlating marks on each piece to help you align each one together, as well as mirroring all of these pieces. And for attaching these pieces, I recommend doing half of the head at a time, laying all of the top pieces out first, 1 through 10, going in a somewhat clockwise shape, and then you will want to apply contact cement glue to each of the edges, and once they are dry, you will slowly start to attach each correlating piece together. And for this, I found it easiest to attach each piece in twos, starting with the triangle pointed pieces, attaching, for instance, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and then attaching those two connected pieces together, so now it should be 6 through 9. And then connecting 10 to 9 as the last piece, so it's a little bit of a different shape. For this, you will want to start each of them attaching at the points going downward. And then I repeated that same process for parts 1 through 5. I will note that for top part 1, when you attach it, the bottom did not quite align, so you will probably need to remove just that little bottom section. And after that, I then repeated the same type of process for the bottom section of the head, laying all of the pieces out in 1 through 9, and then applying contact cement glue, waiting for it to dry fully, and then slowly attaching them in 2s, then in 4s, to finish off each section. And a trick to help you attach all these pieces together is to attach them with them touching the table. The pieces that are attaching should always touch the table and let it naturally curl in the direction that it wants to. This will ensure that all of your seams will align flush and will not be off. And after you have mirrored all of these pieces and done it for the other half, this is what all of your sections should look like, 4 for the top and then 4 for the bottom. And then I connected the top sections to their correlating bottom sections. And at this point, you should now have 4 large sections, and you can connect the 4 sections to make 2 sections, which would then be the half of the head on either side, starting by connecting the top and then the bottom, and then slowly connecting the middle section as you go. And your 2 halves should now look something like a peanut half shape like this. And then to connect those 2 sections together. And for this, I connected the front part as well as the bottom part first, and then slowly creeped towards the center on either side to fully attach. And it should look like this once it's done. Now to talk about the nose. And for the nose, there should be 4 pieces for this. For parts 1 through 3, you will want to trace and cut out onto 3mm EVA foam and mirror it on the opposite side as well. And then for part 4, you will want to trace and cut out onto 2mm EVA foam and again mirror it. And once again with contact cement glue, apply it to the edges, wait for it to dry, and slowly start to connect the pieces together. I recommend connecting 1, 2, and 3 on both sides first, and then once both halves are done, connecting the center piece together. And for the 2mm part 4 section of the nose, you will be applying this to the top of the nose. So it should go around the cut out hole part. For attaching the nose section to the head section, you will want to go to your workbench and sand the middle whole section for the nose to attach to at a 45 with your sanding drum. And then apply contact cement glue and attach the nose to the head section. And for me, I attached the 2 points together on either side and then slowly pulled the foam around the rest of the sections. And it should look like this once it's done. Now to talk about the eyes. For this, I traced the base part of the eye onto 4mm EVA foam, and then for all of the smaller layers, I traced them onto 2mm EVA foam, and then cut them out and glued each of the pieces together. After that, I then went to my workbench and sanded all of the edges flush where they aligned, and then rounded them out. And the last step for the eyes was to trace where they were going to sit on the head, and then apply contact cement glue and attach the eyes to the head. And the face should now look like this. Now to talk about the mouth and the teeth. For the mouthpiece, I traced it and cut it out of 4mm EVA foam. Again, you will want to mirror this piece. And for the teeth, 10mm EVA foam. And for the mouthpieces, attached them to their correlating spot for each one, and then connected the 2 halves together. And I forgot to film this, but I sanded the edge of the mouth at a 45, and then after that, connected it to the head with contact cement glue, as well as the teeth to the bottom section of the nose. Now for the ears. For this, I traced each ear shape onto 10mm EVA foam twice. And for the inner part of the ear, I traced it onto 4mm and cut out. Once that was done, I then attached the 2 halves together. This way you have a really nice thickness to the ear and they won't be floppy. And then went to my workbench and I rounded out all of the edges onto the middle section, as well as to the main thicker part of the ears. I flattened the edge out first and then rounded them to make it look more natural. And once that was done, then attached the inner section of the ear to the outer section. And now that the ears are done, I could attach them to the top section of the head. At this point, all of your construction will be done with the head, and the final steps that I did was do a heat treat of the head. You will want to be light with the heat, not to reopen up all of your contact cement seams. And then by hand with some sandpaper, I went around all of the edges and just smoothed them flush. And then one last time with the heat gun just to even it out to finish our bunny head. And that, guys, is how I made the bunny head from the anime Rust Eater Bisco. I hope you found this video helpful for making your own, and if so, let me know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, there will be a painting tutorial coming soon, so make sure to watch that video as well to help you turn your bunny head into a pink killer rabbit. Yes. Yes. Big thank you to all of my sponsors here, as well as all of my YouTube members, the legendary members, and I will see you for our next tutorial. Much love, guys!